So I recently posted a poll over on Patreon asking my patrons what video they would like to see next, and the winner was things I wish I knew before I started my business. So I know a lot of my viewers have their own homemade business or they are planning on starting one. My business is where I make homemade skincare products and I sell them over on Etsy. So obviously this video is going to come from the source of that type of business. Depending on what kind of business you're wanting to start, like maybe you want to start an auto mechanic business. I don't know. This video might not target that type of business as much, but of course there might be some things that are similar, but obviously this is just from my perspective of my business. So first off, I think this is the most obvious one. It's very stressful, which I know most of you guys know it's going to be stressful going into it, but no matter how prepared you are for starting your business, there are always going to be new things that come up that you just didn't think would happen. Different emotions and feelings that you're dealing with that you just didn't really think you were gonna have to deal with. And as much as you probably know it is gonna be stressful, it's different when you're actually dealing with the stress and seeing how the stress can stem from a lot of different sources. I could talk about dealing with stress with the business for so long, so I'm gonna just keep it short. Just know that you're gonna be dealing with a lot of stress going into your business. And it's really important to take care of your mental health when you own a business. And there's really no solution to dealing with stress other than just taking a deep breath and dealing with that situation one step at a time. And doing your best to keep your mental state as healthy as possible. I'm trying to keep it short because I got a lot to talk about. It's okay to say no. What specifically comes to mind, I remember when I first started my business, I had a lot of people message me on Etsy asking me if I can customize this specific product. They would be like, okay, so I want to know if you can customize a face mask for me. And I want it to have this, that, this, that, this, that, and this in it. And I kind of felt like I just had to say yes. Looking back, I don't know why I felt the obligation to say yes. It was almost as if I wanted them to think like, yeah, I'm an overachiever. Yeah, I can customize for you. And deep down, I really just wanted the sale. And I was hoping that if I made this custom item for them, they would like it and then want to buy like my non-custom items, you know, the ones I sell every day. And honestly, what I learned from this is the people who reached out to me and wanted custom items, they did. Some of them come back for that custom item again, but a lot of them just came back again asking for more custom items. And that's a very stressful situation to be in, going back to what we just talked about. Saying no to things is really going to relieve a lot of stress. I know I had a lot of people reach out to me wanting like big wholesale orders to be shipped to like Australia and stuff like that. And saying no is something that is hard to do, but the more you do it, honestly, it just becomes a lot easier. And this leads me into my next thing that I want to talk about, and that's setting boundaries. So this kind of goes along with saying no. So here's a specific boundary that I set for my business. I only ship in the US and Canada, and this reduces a lot of stress, which goes back to number one, all these topics are kind of like intertwined, you know? They all go hand in hand. So shipping within only the US and Canada really relieves my stress level, and it sets a boundary, and it makes me have to say no to a lot of sales, because dealing with international selling can be stressful because you have to deal with customs. I've had a package that got stuck in customs and my customer never got it, and then they wanted their money back, which sucked because the shipping was $20. Plus all the items that came back were just gone for so long. I didn't even feel comfortable reselling them, and especially since they were out of my hand for so long. Who knew like what type of environment they were in or whose hands they were in. So I lost a lot of money in that situation. Setting these boundaries is really going to relieve stress for you and make things a lot easier. Another boundary that I have set is that I only sell wholesale within the US, because shipping big packages that are heavy, because my items are glass, it's heavy. Shipping to Canada is going to be way too expensive. So that is another boundary I set. I say no to a lot of people who want to buy wholesale from me around the world, and just having these boundaries can reduce a lot of stress. So before you go into your business, I know you want to be able to cover so many things. You want to be able to customize items for people. You want to be able to ship all around the world so everybody can enjoy your products, and so you can potentially get more sales. But honestly, these things are just going to cause a lot of stress for you. And I know starting a business where you're shipping items, it takes a little bit to fully understand the whole shipping process and how everything works and get comfortable with it, unless maybe you used to work in the mail industry or you knew someone that did and you just have a good understanding of it, but chances are you probably don't. It's good to just ship within your own country at first, get used to shipping, you know, close to home, and then branch into it later. Maybe I'll branch into international selling eventually, but as of now, it's something that I'm not comfortable with. So yeah, setting boundaries, very important. Don't rush new items. I've done that. I'll have a really good idea for a new item and I will hurry up, make it, post it, sell it on Etsy, and then like a couple months down the line, I'll realize, wow, I could have made this product a lot better by doing this. So you really want to make sure you have your product to the best of its potential as you possibly can before you release it, because you can, you know, discontinue an item, reformulate it, and re-release it, but that's going to cause maybe like situations with your customers. People will be like, hey, where's that item? And you're like, oh, sorry, it's discontinued for now. And then maybe they'll go off and try to find that item from somebody else, and then you lost a customer.
And this also applies to just everything in general when it comes to your business. Don't rush any of it. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. I've said this before on my channel. Take your time.
So the next thing is you can't make everybody happy. And this kind of, you know, goes in with setting boundaries, saying no to things. A lot of people come to me with stuff like specifically me customizing items, me selling my items in bulk rather than wholesale. Wholesale is when you sell like a whole bunch of like 2-ounce jars of something. Bulk is when you sell your like moisturizer in a big jar so then they can package it themselves. So many people ask me to sell in bulk. It's not something I do. That's just a whole other form of packaging I'm gonna have to buy and then just hope people want it. You're not gonna make everybody happy. And this also applies to the face wash you make and sell. Not everybody's gonna like. Some people will try a face mask and it's not gonna work for them. Some people are gonna try that serum, it's not gonna work for them. It's just the way it is. It's like so understanding for somebody not to like one of my face washes or even all of them, because everybody's skin type is different. So if you get like a bad review and somebody's not happy with their item, of course do what you can to make that customer happy. Maybe give them a refund, a partial refund, suggest them a different item. The sooner you accept that not everyone's gonna like your products, the easier it's going to be. You're not gonna make everybody happy. And some people honestly are just impossible to make happy. Trust me, since I was 15, I've worked in customer service, and I even consider what I do now a form of customer service. So trust me, you're not gonna make everybody happy. It's not possible.
I do want to mention though, if basically like nobody seems to be liking your products, obviously that means you might need to reassess your products and see if you can make them better. You know, there's a difference between, you know, just getting one bad review and somebody not liking one specific product that they tried, or even like 2 or 3 of them, compared to, you know, like nobody seems to be liking your product. So definitely stay aware of that and be able to admit if a product is bad or not. Don't just, you know, keep the mentality, oh, whatever, this customer just, it's not for them. There's a difference between one person not liking your product and just getting a lot of bad reviews and realizing a lot of people don't like it. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Hope you know what I mean.
Flat rate shipping. So this applies to those of you who sell online and who sell heavy items like I do. Flat rate shipping may not work for everybody because, okay, so flat rate shipping, you have like a box, say this big, all right? There's tons of different sizes of flat rate boxes, but let's pretend we're talking about this one, okay? So I can fit however much weight I want in it, and whatever I can fit in it, it ships. So say you have like something really, really light. If you ship it flat rate, it might not be the best price point for you. You might just want to ship it like priority or first class instead and have it go off the weight instead. Then it will be cheaper for you. So flat rate shipping isn't always the cheaper option. Sometimes you want to go off the weight instead. My items are really heavy, so flat rate shipping is my best friend. And if you're selling skincare products as well, your products are probably pretty heavy. Even if they're not glass, they're liquid, and liquid is heavy. So flat rate shipping, gonna be your best friend. Check it out. But also make sure you compare it to the weight as well. Anything over a pound has to be shipped priority. It might just be cheaper for you to go off the weight instead. I feel like I've said that 8 times, but hope you get the point. Don't overbuy inventory. I've done this. I remember when I first started, I bought everything I possibly could in like the biggest amount possible because I guess I didn't take shelf life into consideration. I don't know, I was stupid, I guess. don't overbuy if you don't think you're gonna use it up within the expiration date. That's all I have to say on that one. The next one I have written down is not everyone will like your product, but I kind of already talked about that, and you can't make everyone happy. So I think you guys get the point on that one. Not everyone's gonna like your product, it's just the way it is. Friends and family won't support you. This isn't gonna be true for everybody. They might support you like verbally. They might say like, I'm so proud of you, you're doing so good. But for the most part, they probably won't buy your items, because for me personally, I live in a very kind of like poor town. A lot of my friends don't have a lot of money. My friends aren't struggling, but like I'd say about 70% of my friends, you know, live paycheck to paycheck. And then the other 30%, you know, they're doing well. They have a good amount of money in their savings account, yada, yada, yada. Those are the friends who, when they buy from me, they'll tip me. Like, it's so nice, and I try to tell them like they don't need to tip me. Or sometimes I'll be like, all right, it's this price for you. Don't look at the price on Etsy. I'm giving you a deal, you're my friend. But then they'll still log on to Etsy and give me the price for Etsy. So those types of friends will support you, those types of family members will support you. But honestly, even the friends and family, they still might not support you for whatever reason it may be. Maybe because like they just are into what you're selling and they just don't want to tell you that. But honestly, that doesn't hurt my feelings. If a lot of people aren't into like skincare, they don't care, they just want to use what they've been using their whole life. That's cool. Whatever, you don't want to experiment, that's fine. Like, I get it. I hate experimenting with different makeup. I just wear the same makeup I've been wearing for years. Like, I get it. But I'm sure there's a lot of family and friends that you know who live paycheck to paycheck and just can't spend the extra like few dollars buying from somebody who makes it homemade, because we all know homemade items are more expensive than stuff from Walmart and Target. That's just the way it is, because we're a small business, we have to price it higher. So I totally understand why somebody wants to just go to Dollar General and buy something because it's cheaper. I totally get it. I'm not offended at all. My friends and family, that's not my clientele. That is not who I'm trying to sell to. I want to sell to the people who appreciate my items and who, you know, are looking for homemade items and stuff like that. That's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling about this, but I hope you guys get what I mean. Just don't expect friends and family to support your business. You need to find real customers and real people who resonate with your business's ideals. Here's the next one that's kind of sad to talk about, but it's like, it's really lonely having your own business. And honestly, I did not expect this at all going into my business. I've always been a person who really likes being alone. A Saturday night by myself is like more fun than going out. I know a lot of people are like this. Of course, every once in a while I like to go out, hang out with my friends. Duh, I want to socialize sometimes. Ever since I started my business and I work from home, I don't have a team who works with me. I don't have any employees. I don't even have like a friend or somebody who comes over and helps me every once in a while. I'm just alone. My boyfriend works 10-hour shifts, so he's gone all day. He goes to bed early, so if I stay up at night, I'm alone. The weekends, sometimes he'll go out and I'll stay home and finish work that needs done, or I'll just stay home because I want to stay home. But since I've started my own business and working from home, I realized that I do kind of go out on the weekends more often than I used to. I go out to eat a lot now. It's weird. I used to not go out to eat that much back when I had like a real job where I like left my house. But I've noticed since I've worked from home, I go out to eat a lot more just because it's just a sense of socialization for a little bit, just to get out of my house. So I just realized that I have actually kind of craved more social interaction than I ever did in my past, because I'm not going to school and socializing. I'm not going to work and socializing. I just sit at home, and the little socializing I do is online with you guys, and that's not face-to-face, it's just over text. So it doesn't really feel like I'm socializing. It's more work, obviously, because that's my work. But yeah, so starting your own business, you will be a lot more lonely, and especially if you are working like more than 40 hours a week like I typically do. Not every week, just sometimes. Yeah, you'll just be giving weekends up, staying home, trying to get deadlines finished, trying to just progress in your work because you are just motivated to get to the next step. Just remember that it is really important, like I said earlier, to take care of your mental health, but it also is important to keep friendships, hang out with your family, hang out with your significant other, hang out with your kids, make time for the people in your life, because work is not everything. You, your pets, your family, your significant other, your kids, are all more important than your job. So make sure you're still making time for social interactions, because you're gonna get lonely after about probably the first year and a half is when you'll start noticing like, huh, I'm alone a lot. I need to like hang out with people. Yeah, that's typically what's gonna end up happening. Especially, like I said, if you're like me and you've always been a person who just, you know, likes to be alone. I really do like to be alone, but you know, you can only be alone for so long until you're like, okay, I need to talk to somebody. Anyways, productivity doesn't equal growth. Sometimes you're being so productive that you're neglecting your health and your physical health and your mental health. So like I was saying earlier, you can't just work all the time. You need to focus on your friends, your family, your pets, your kids, you know, the people in your life. You need to focus on yourself. Cook yourself a nice meal, take a bath, read that book you've been wanting to read for a while. Just because you're being productive in your work doesn't mean there's any growth happening, because you need to make sure okay, here's the thing. So I used to make really big lists of things I wanted to get done every day, and I wouldn't stop until I got everything done on that list. I wouldn't stop for like a 10-minute break. I wouldn't stop to eat some food because I was starving. I would just keep going until I got everything done, and then after I got everything done, I would eat and take care of myself. That is bad, okay? Because me doing work while I'm hungry and tired isn't gonna be a productive job. My videos, my products, my just overall work comes out so much better when I just take like a 15-minute break and stop and relax and eat some crackers and watch a YouTube video for a little bit. Like, just because you're doing work, it doesn't mean anything's getting done sometimes. Like, I know I've done work for hours and I'm just like, dude, nothing got done. Like, I was in a horrible state of mind and I just didn't, I don't know. You know, I hope you get what I'm saying. This kind of ties in with what I was just talking about, is it's okay to take time off. It's okay to, you know what? Even if you're not going on vacation or anything, take a week off. I'll take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Sometimes, because my boyfriend has 3-day weekends because he works 10-hour shifts. Sometimes I'll just take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off like completely without doing anything, because typically I'll edit videos over the weekend. That's my weekend job. Sometimes I'll make products too. It just depends on what needs done. Sometimes I'll take all weekend off, because if I take all weekend off, dude, I'm so motivated to work on Monday. And you need that sometimes. You need to just like step back away from what you're doing so you can look at it from a different perspective and appreciate what you have and what you're doing and what you're created. Oh, here's the last one. This one isn't very deep. Just back up all your files. So literally, when was this? Like a year and a half ago, I accidentally broke one of my memory cards. Not my memory cards, flash drives, and it had all of my labels on it. All my labels for my products on Etsy. This was a hard time. So I had to remake all my labels. It was stressful, it took a lot of time, but yeah, just remember to back up all your files. I also lost the file. I have no idea how it happened. I have a file where it has how much it costs to make all of my items, how much it costs for retail price, and then how much it costs when you add in the fees for Etsy, because you have to add in fees with each item you sell, yada yada yada. I had a whole entire document filled out of that. I have no idea what happened to it. It literally it was just gone. I mean, obviously I must have deleted it, which I don't know how that would have happened. But yeah, so back up all your files, because it's stressful trying to replicate them again. But yeah, so that is everything that I wish I knew before I started my business. There are probably a lot more, but those were the things that I thought of the other day when I made the list. So yeah, let me know down in the comments things that you wish you knew before you started your business. I will pin a comment. If there's like a really good one you guys leave, I'll pin it if I remember, because you can like pin comments and it'll be like the first comment that everybody sees. So if you got, you know, maybe a list of things that you wish you knew before you started a business, let me know down in the comments. It can help other people out. It can help me out. Maybe I'll learn from it as well. Good luck with your business, whatever it may be, whenever you may start it. If you're doing a business now, best of luck. Wishing you all the best. I want everybody to just flourish in their business, because it's amazing seeing other people be able to make money from their own little quirks, you know? So yeah, let's move on to the Patreon shoutouts. At Stardust Bath & Body, Nature's Farm Girl, Kennedy's Essentials, Let's Blend, Creative with Love, Wallflower Wildflower, Heartfelt Beauty, at Sugared_Pineapple, KAJ Bath & Body, Blue Mint Soaps, Saytera, at Salt Air Label, Lunice Beauty, Ardure Naturals, Shark City Naturals, Ohana Lay, at Danny Botanicals, Eclectic Beauty Cosmetics, Escape Bath & Body, and EC Naturals. Also, I sell products myself over on Etsy. Go check out my Etsy shop. It'll be linked down below, along with all my lovely patrons. So that is everything for today. Let me know how you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Later!
I'm stuck in the motions. I've been consumed by the wrath of time, like I'm I'm shattered in this life. It's still the path that I've chosen, because I've had a vision. Now I'm on a mission to find myself.